Agrippa and the 5 modes of Pyrrhonian skepticism. Among the many influential figures in ancient philosophy, Agrippa remains a key, yet enigmatic contributor to the tradition of Pyrrhonian skepticism. Flourishing around the 1st to 2nd century CE, Agrippa's intellectual legacy is primarily associated with the famous 5 modes of argument, which have profoundly shaped philosophical discourse on skepticism. While much about Agrippa's life remains obscure, his contributions offer a structured and rigorous approach to challenging dogmatic assertions, making him a central figure in the development of skeptical thought. At the heart of Pyrrhonian skepticism is the principle that one should suspend judgment regarding beliefs and knowledge claims, especially in the face of conflicting perspectives. Agrippa's 5 modes provide a systematic framework for skeptics to employ when confronting the certainties asserted by dogmatists. These modes articulate different strategies for undermining arguments and exposing the limitations of our claims to knowledge. The first mode, diaphonia, highlights the pervasive existence of disagreement among people, both ordinary and philosophical. According to this mode, every significant matter is subject to conflicting opinions that are often undecided or undecidable. This persistent conflict undermines the possibility of confidently accepting or rejecting any particular view, leading the skeptic to suspend judgment. By drawing attention to the diversity of perspectives, diaphonia demonstrates how the complexity of human thought often precludes definitive conclusions, thus reinforcing the skeptical approach. The second mode, eis apeiron ekbalanta, addresses the problem of infinite regress in justifications. This mode exposes the flaw in arguments that require every claim to be supported by another, which in turn needs its own justification, leading to an endless chain. Without a definitive starting point, arguments fail to provide a solid foundation, prompting the skeptic to suspend judgment. Agrippa's articulation of this mode underscores a crucial issue in philosophy: the challenge of determining where justification should begin and how we can anchor our beliefs in something reliable. The third mode, pros ti, focuses on the relativity of knowledge claims. This mode asserts that all perceptions and beliefs are contingent upon the observer's perspective and the specific context in which they occur. By highlighting the subjective nature of knowledge, pros ti challenges the idea that any belief can be universally true. It suggests that many claims about reality are inherently tied to individual perspectives, thereby encouraging the suspension of judgment regarding the absolute nature of any belief. The fourth mode, hypothesis, critiques the assumptions underlying many arguments. Agrippa pointed out that dogmatists often rely on unexamined premises, assuming their conclusions from the outset. When a theory is based on mere hypotheses without sufficient justification, skeptics are justified in withholding their assent. This mode encourages careful scrutiny of the foundational beliefs that often go unquestioned, urging philosophers to critically examine the assumptions that underpin their arguments. The fifth mode, ton dialalon, addresses the issue of circular reasoning. This mode reveals the flaw in arguments that rely on their own conclusions for justification. When the credibility of a claim depends on its own premises, a circular argument arises, which fails to provide genuine understanding. This mode serves as a reminder of the importance of independent confirmation in reasoning and reinforces the skeptical stance against arguments that lack coherence and consistency. Agrippa's 5 modes represent a powerful set of tools for dismantling dogmatic assertions and promoting a culture of critical inquiry. While some critics may argue that these modes demonstrate a misunderstanding of the nature of proof, implying that everything must be subject to justification, this interpretation overlooks the broader implications of Agrippa's skepticism. Rather than simply challenging the possibility of proof, Agrippa's modes engage in a sophisticated dialectical discourse that questions the very structure and credibility of arguments. Furthermore, these modes extend beyond mere proof to address the overall credibility of beliefs, indications, causal explanations, and inductive reasoning. By examining each mode, we can appreciate Agrippa's influence on argumentative practices that go beyond traditional forms of validation, encouraging a deeper and more nuanced approach to philosophical reasoning.